Some questions just aren't meant to have answers. They're the ones that linger in the dark, long after the police tape has been taken down and the trail has gone cold. For every case that gets a neat conclusion, there are others that stubbornly refuse to be solved, their files gathering dust in an archive box. These are the stories that defy easy explanation. We're talking about everything from a killer who taunted an entire city with coded messages to a strange radio signal from deep space that we've never heard again. These 4 mysteries have left even the experts scratching their heads, leaving behind a trail of chilling clues and haunting questions. But the other 3? They had suffered brutal internal injuries, crushed chests, a fractured skull with no external signs of a fight. On a cold February night in 2004, a 21-year-old nursing student named Maura Murray crashed her car on a dark, winding road in New Hampshire. A local bus driver spotted the accident and stopped to help, but she waved him off, saying she'd already called for a tow. Just minutes later, when police arrived on the scene, Maura Murray was gone. On August 15, 1977, an astronomer named Jerry Emmon was looking through data from the Big Ear radio telescope in Ohio when he spotted something. It was a powerful 72-second-long radio signal. It was so unusual, so out of place, that he just circled the data on the printout. They're a chilling reminder that no matter how much we think we know, there are still corners of our world and our universe that remain completely in the dark. These cases continue to haunt investigators and capture our imagination, proving that some secrets might just be destined to stay that way. And wrote one word in the margin. Wow. To make it even stranger, one woman was missing her tongue. It was on a protected frequency where earthly transmissions are forbidden. And its narrow band was exactly what many scientists thought a signal from another intelligence would look like. But here's the kicker. In all the decades since, we've never detected it again. For years, it was one of the best arguments for intelligent life beyond Earth. Now, however, researchers have a possible natural explanation. The leading theory is that the signal could have been caused by a rare cosmic event, like a flare from a star supercharging a passing hydrogen cloud, which then briefly shot out a focused, laser-like beam of energy. For decades, people have guessed at what happened. Was it a secret military weapon, a Yeti attack? In 2019, Russian officials reopened the case and came to a more grounded conclusion. A slab avalanche likely caused the hikers to panic, flee their tent, and run out into the deadly cold. Still, many people argue that theory doesn't explain the violent, specific nature of the injuries. Their only publicly named suspect was a man named Arthur Lee Allen, a former school teacher with a pretty disturbing past. Some evidence seemed to point his way. He wore a Zodiac brand watch and knew a thing or two about codes. Investigators were stumped. It turned out Maura had secretly packed a bag, pulled money from an ATM, and if you find these stories as fascinating as we do, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more explorations into the unknown. And even lied to her professors about a death in the family to get out of class. Did she just want to disappear and start a new life? That's one theory. But her family has always been convinced she met with foul play, that an opportunistic predator saw her stranded on that lonely road. Her sister Julie has been relentless in her search for answers, even starting a podcast to try and generate new leads. 20 years later, Maura's case is still an active investigation, a void of unanswered questions for a family that just wants to know what happened. One of the survivors even identified him, but the case against him was never strong enough. Fingerprints didn't match and testimonies conflicted. Allen died in 1992, taking whatever secrets he had to his grave. To this day, some of the Zodiac's codes are still unsolved, and the identity of the man who held a city in his grip remains a complete mystery. First, we head to the San Francisco Bay Area in the late 1960s. It was a turbulent time, and the perfect hunting ground for a killer who desperately wanted the spotlight. He called himself the Zodiac. He didn't just want to kill people. He wanted to orchestrate a citywide panic. Zodiac murdered at least 5 people. But in a series of taunting letters sent to local newspapers, he claimed to have killed 37. These letters were his twisted signature, a mix of bragging, threats, and ciphers that he dared police to solve. Investigators were essentially chasing a ghost. They looked into over 2,500 different people, but every single lead just seemed to evaporate. But not all mysteries are about hunting a human killer. Sometimes the monster is the wilderness itself. Or is it? In the winter of 1959, 9 experienced hikers set out on an expedition deep into Russia's Ural Mountains. They never came back. When a search party finally found their campsite, the scene was just ... wrong. Their tent had been slashed open, but from the inside. The hikers' bodies were found scattered across the frozen landscape, some of them barely clothed, even though the temperatures were well below zero. The official investigation determined that 6 of them had died from hypothermia. This next case is a modern mystery, and it's as heartbreaking as it is confusing. A massive search of the woods and surrounding area turned up absolutely nothing. What do you think happened in these cases? Do you have a theory we didn't get to? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. For our final mystery, we're leaving the dark woods and heading out into the vast emptiness of space. The signal came from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, and seemed to tick all the boxes for a potential extraterrestrial broadcast. From the calculated cruelty of the Zodiac to the silent, snowy graves of 9 Russian hikers, from that empty roadside in New Hampshire to a fleeting whisper from the stars, some mysteries just stick with us.